Greetings, everyone. I'm Anastasia, alongside Irene, welcoming you to day 5 of our 50-day software architecture class. In day 4, we examined creational patterns such as singleton for single instance control and factory for abstracting object creation, complete with code snippets. Today, we're transitioning to structural design patterns, focusing on adapter and composite, which are essential for enhancing system flexibility by addressing compatibility and hierarchical composition challenges in your designs.
Absolutely, Anastasia. These patterns will show how to make your systems more adaptable and easier to extend over time.
Let's outline day 5. Structural patterns are all about composing classes and objects to form larger, more complex structures while keeping things organized and flexible. We'll delve into adapter, which acts as a bridge for incompatible interfaces, and composite, which allows you to treat individual objects and groups of objects in a uniform way. These connect directly to day 2's solid principles, like interface segregation, and build on the creational foundations from day 4.
A natural progression. These will empower you to handle real-world integration scenarios effectively.
Why focus on structural patterns? They specifically tackle issues around how classes and objects compose together, especially when dealing with interface mismatches or building complex hierarchies. By using them, you can enhance your system's flexibility and extensibility without needing to rewrite existing code, which aligns perfectly with day 1's emphasis on scalable systems and day 2's modularity principles. This prepares us nicely for behavioral patterns coming up on day 6.
They bridge the gap between simple designs and robust, adaptable architectures in practice.
Starting with the adapter pattern, it converts the interface of one class into another that a client expects, enabling classes with incompatible interfaces to work together seamlessly. There are two main types: class adapter using inheritance and object, adapter using composition, with the latter being more flexible in many languages. This is particularly useful for integrating legacy code or third-party libraries without major overhauls.
Like a universal plug adapter, it makes things connect where they otherwise wouldn't.
Here's the adapter in code. Using Python for an object adapter example, we have a target interface with a request method, an adaptee with a specific request, and the adapter that inherits from target while composing the adaptee. In the init, it takes the adaptee and request calls the adaptee's method. Usage: create an adapter with an adaptee instance and call request to see it bridge the gap.
Clear and concise. Demonstrates composition over inheritance for flexibility.
Pros of adapter: it allows reuse of existing classes without modification and adds significant flexibility to your system by enabling collaboration between otherwise incompatible components. Cons include potential extra layers of indirection, which might slightly impact performance, and overuse can result in a web of complex adapters that are hard to maintain. It's often best suited for short-term or targeted integrations rather than as a permanent fix.
Weighs the benefits against the added abstraction carefully.
Real-world examples of adapter. In media players, it adapts various file formats like MP3 to WAV for a unified playback interface. For payment gateways, it integrates diverse APIs from Stripe or PayPal into a common payment processor. It's great for wrapping legacy systems to fit modern architectures without full rewrites. Even think of USB adapters and hardware as a conceptual parallel.
Everyday problem solver in integrations.
Best practices for adapter: always prefer the object. Adapter with composition over class adapter with inheritance to avoid multiple inheritance issues in some languages. Keep your adapters simple, focused on a single responsibility per day 2's SRP. Integrate with dependency injection for easier testing and swapping, and document the adaptations thoroughly so your team understands the bridges being built.
Keeps your codebase clean and understandable.
Pitfalls to watch: an adapter explosion where you end up with too many adapters for similar problems. Instead, consider refactoring. There's potential performance overhead from multiple wrapper layers. It can hide underlying issues by masking incompatibilities rather than resolving them, and testing becomes more complex due to the indirect method calls involved.
Proactive avoidance makes all the difference.
Variations of adapter. Two-way adapters for bidirectional conversions between interfaces. Pluggable adapters that can be configured dynamically at runtime for more flexibility. Many frameworks, like Spring, provide built-in adapter mechanisms. Select the variation that best fits your specific integration requirements and system constraints.
Tailor to your scenario for optimal results.
Moving to the composite pattern, it composes objects into tree-like structures to represent part-whole hierarchies, allowing you to treat individual objects and compositions of objects in the same uniform manner. This is ideal for building recursive structures where components can contain other components, simplifying client code.
Tree structures made simple. Handles complexity elegantly. Composite in code. A base component interface with operation. Leaf implements it simply. Composite also implements, holds a list of children, has add method, and operation recurses over children. Example: create a composite, add leaves, call operation to get aggregated results from the hierarchy.
Recursive power in action scales beautifully.
Pros: it simplifies client code by treating leaves and composites the same and makes adding new component types straightforward. Cons: it might overgeneralize for very simple structures, adding unnecessary abstraction. Deep hierarchies can introduce runtime overhead. There's a design trade-off between uniformity and maintaining type-specific behaviors.
Way for hierarchical needs.
Real-world: file systems where folders contain files or other folders. In GUIs, panels, or windows that composite buttons and labels. Organizational charts with departments of employees. Graphics libraries where shapes are grouped into complex drawings.
Hierarchies everywhere in software.
Best practices: ensure operations are safe and meaningful for both leaves and composites, perhaps with no ops on leaves. Use interfaces to define common behaviors per ISP from day 2. Prevent cyclic references to avoid infinite loops. Combine with patterns like visitor for separating operations from the structure.
Robust and extensible.
Pitfalls: blurring differences between leaves and composites can lead to loss of type safety and unexpected behaviors. Large trees might hurt performance, so optimize traversals. Implementation complexity can introduce recursive bugs. Don't misuse for data that's not truly hierarchical.
Careful design mitigates these.
Applying these, Adapter excels in integrations and legacy bridging, while Composite shines in building hierarchies like menus or org structures. Combine with Day 4's creational patterns, like using Factory to create composites. They enhance flexibility in Day 3's monolithic or layered architectures. In real scenarios, mix them for handling complex evolving systems.
Integrated use unlocks potential.
Overall best practices: adhere to Day 2's solid, particularly open-closed for extensions and interface segregation for clean interfaces. Document where and why you're using patterns in your code comments. Apply them incrementally during refactoring to avoid big bangs. Thoroughly test for both flexibility in changes and correctness in behavior.
Sustainable application is key. Recapping day 5, we covered the adapter pattern in detail, showing how it bridges incompatible interfaces with code examples and practical uses.
And the composite pattern for treating hierarchies uniformly, including implementations and real-world scenarios. We explored pros, cons, and best practices. The key takeaway: these structural patterns significantly boost your system's flexibility and adaptability to change. Welcome to Day 5 of the 50 Days Software Architecture class on YouTube. Today, we're exploring structural design patterns like Adapter and Composite to enhance system flexibility. These patterns, part of the Gang of Four's structural category, focus on composing classes and objects into larger, flexible, and efficient structures. They promote principles like solid, building on Day 4's creational patterns by emphasizing composition over inheritance for system adaptability. First, Let's dive into the adapter pattern, which converts the interface of a class into another interface clients expect. This allows incompatible classes to work together without modifying existing code, adhering to the open-closed principle. Key components include the target, client, adaptee, and the adapter itself, which wraps the adaptee and implements the target. Think of a power adapter, plugging a US plug into an EU socket, or a media player adapting old XML loaders to a new JSON API. The adapter pattern offers significant benefits, like reusing legacy code and reducing refactoring efforts by 20 to 30% in large systems. Next, we explore the composite pattern, which composes objects into tree structures representing part-whole hierarchies. It treats individual objects, or leaves, and compositions uniformly via a common interface. Imagine a file system where directories contain files and other directories, or a graphics application with shapes grouped into larger pictures. The composite pattern simplifies client code, eliminating the need for separate checks for leaves versus composites, and scales to thousands of nodes. In recap, Adapter handles interface mismatches, like with third-party libraries, while Composite manages hierarchies, such as tree structures. These patterns tie into solid principles. Adapter aids dependency inversion, and Composite supports Liskov substitution. They enhance flexibility and can reduce coupling by 40 to 50% in refactors, according to GoF metrics. Join us next time for Day 6, where we'll delve into behavioral patterns. Thank you for watching. Looking forward, Day 6 will overview behavioral design patterns, focusing on observer and strategy for improved code organization and dynamic behaviors.
For homework, try implementing either Adapter or Composite in a small code project to see their flexibility in action. If you have questions from today, share them in the comments. Irene and I will reply promptly. Thanks so much for joining us. If this helped, like, share with others, and subscribe to stay with the series.